Just a little straight this occasion from Wood. Nicely clipped, tucked, fine leg. Nathan Lyon gets himself off the mark with a boundary. There hasn't been a lot of that in this series. Of waving his Aussie flag.
Bowled in, dragged on. Wood the man with the final wicket. 599 days after handing the urn over to Australia, Cook has his redemption.
Congratulations, England. Beautifully played, Alistair Cook. You can be very proud of your group, along with Trevor Bayliss, Paul Farbrace, the rest of the coaching staff. It's been Test match cricket at the highest level, played brilliantly well by England. Great bowling, great batting on a tough wicket here in the first innings. Australia all out for 253. A huge win for England.
What a team effort that has been on and off the field. Jimmy Anderson, a key man in the last game. Everyone played their part. Team behind their captain, a new coach, a new era. An era that was dismantled down under 5-0. That captain has had to rebuild. You can see he's not an emotional man, but this is an emotional moment for him. Rebuilt a new team. They have won back the Ashes.
Yeah, what a great feeling that is. To be out in the middle, Ashes earned back in your hands. Shaking of hands with your teammates. A lot of embracing there from the English players. You can see how much what Ashes cricket's all about. The Australians will be devastated. The English can celebrate long and hard, as they should. These are the moments that you don't want to miss out on as a player. Embrace the moment, thank the crowd, get off and celebrate with your teammates. They should be very, very proud of what they've achieved here in England.
Great to do it in front of a full house, in front of family and friends. Smiles all round. It's been a wonderful series. It might have been a quick series, but it's been all action cricket. We've hardly had a boring session, a boring day. In the end, the team effort, the young team, rebuilt, has beaten an ageing Australian side. Complete role reversal, a captain under pressure 18 months ago, and the opposition captain under pressure now. Only one man can lead them off here. It will be the England captain, Ben Stokes. Ends up with 6 wickets, Wood with 3. The Australian team always very gracious in defeat. Played in good spirits, played tough, played fair, played hard.
Yeah, certainly all of those things, Nasser, but the Australians just haven't been in the same ballpark, with the exception of one very good performance at Lords. They've been comprehensively outplayed in every other game. The skills weren't good enough. You probably can't say that the endeavour was lacking. They've been found lacking in difficult batting conditions. Swinging balls, seaming pitches. The Australians have been brought undone.
Well, it took a boy from Ashington in the end. Not Steve Harmison this time, but Mark Wood to deliver the final blow, the final dagger. The hearts of all Australian fans.
Celebration flyover, courtesy of the Red Arrows.
Great scenes, and I'm sure the England boys will go. They will thank their fans. Country behind a team. Two stars are down there with Ian Ward.
Ben Stokes and Alistair Cook, how does that feel?
Unbelievable moment.
I couldn't be happier from what we've been through as a side over the last 18 months to play like we've played 3 out of 4 Test matches against a very good Australian side, and we haven't lost too many days of cricket in that. So it's incredible. You know, the crowd been fantastic. All our families, lots of thanks at some stage I'll have to do, but at the moment, I'm just so proud of this young team, the way they've taken this opportunity. Even without Jimmy, who's obviously been an absolute legend in the first 3 games, and to hang around here and help the guys. Without the leader to do that, I couldn't be prouder of the guys.
We spoke before the series about the challenges ahead, how hard it was going to be, different than New Zealand, more pressure. How does it feel now you've been through it?
Well, I don't know really. I mean, we've won the Ashes with 1 game to go, and it's just it's absolutely surreal. From where I was last time in Australia in an Ashes to be here now, to be an Ashes winner, is just absolutely amazing. The crowd here over the 2 and however many days it was, has just been absolutely electric, and words can't describe what the feeling is right now.
Yeah, I mean, from the SCG to Trent Bridge, what a turnaround.
Yeah, amazing turnaround, and obviously a lot's happened behind the scenes as well. I know it's a bit, but we need to thank Peter Moores as well. I know he's not here, but a lot of the guys have made huge developments, under him as players, and you saw a lot of it in this series and over the stuff. Obviously Trevor's come in and done a fantastic job as well, alongside Paul Farabase and the guys. But we have to remember him, because we did make some strides under Moores, and so this is for you as well, Peter.
Stump and a ball in your hand. Have you bowled better?
No, not in an England shirt. That's the best I've felt rhythm-wise. Everything clicked today. The ball was still swinging this morning, and luckily, things went my way. But it's not just that innings that's won us the series. It's been everyone else in the whole 11 who's put their hand up and done a match-winning performance throughout the whole series so far.
Brilliant stuff, boys. Enjoy it.
Cheers, Wardy.
Thanks. Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Very gracious in defeat, very gracious in victory, Alistair Cook. Generally been very fine all-rounders that have been involved in Ashes series victories, whether it be Botham, Flintoff this time round, it's Ben Stokes. Bayliss and Farbrace very pleased, very, very pleased. Job done, basically. They'll start planning for the future. They'll plan for the Oval already. Different conditions there, different conditions ahead. Given English conditions, this side a very difficult side to beat. Jimmy joins his team. Turn the game round on day 1 in Edgbaston. England boys doing their lap of honour. Great scenes here, Bumble.
And they won't know what to do with themselves. There's Jim. You need battlers. Mentioned that right at the beginning. We chatted for half an hour in the debate. You need warriors. I think you're dead right. It's a young team, emerging team. Cook is immensely proud of these youngsters, but you need some good old ones as well. Ben Stokes is going to be around. Coaches, job done. But these are the times, and the players wander around the ground, and their heads will be in a spin, looking into the crowd for somebody that they know, waving to everybody. But Mark Hood, Adam Lyth, he'll get some. The Blue Yorkies. And it's a gorgeous day. Another test match that finishes in a flash. Final one will be a celebration down at the Oval.
Alistair Cook has now won the Ashes 4 times. Ian Bell equals Beefy's record, having won the Ashes 5 times now. Ian Bell. Their money's worth. How many deliveries did we have today? 62 deliveries, but they were here. Everyone was here. Saw England regain the Ashes. What a series he had. He smiled all the way through. Joe Root now the #1 ranked batsman in the world.
We talk about individuals, but team effort.
There's a view, you don't see much view from the balcony.
All the coaches all leaving it to the team. It's their moment. And they're just in front of us now. Families. He's going to be a star, this guy. Bit of a bruise. Just below us now.
Came at a good time. Edgbaston, Trent Bridge, two venues that they play very well at. Bumble waving at the crowd. In the dressing room, the champagne's there already. Gower will be popping in there soon. Team photo.
That dressing room will get messy. Ugh. Who's got the stumps? There's always a clamour for a stump. Ben Stokes has got one. I think Ben Stokes got the ball as well.
I'm arguing with Stokes. You can have the stump, Ben.
He'd be itching for a game at the Oval. Jimmy Anderson, it may be out of his hands. But it's a perfect day, beautiful day.
Wood's doing his horse impression. He's a shy lad, isn't he? Let's get down to Ian Ward.
Paul Farbrace, Ashes winner. How does that feel?
It's unbelievable, isn't it? It was, wow, it was fantastic. Yet every session seems to have been an absolute roller coaster. From the first morning, that first half an hour, knocking, what, 3-4 wickets over. Been an incredible couple of days, but fantastic. So pleased for the lads, because they worked so hard, and, you know, we took a real hit after Lords, and to bounce back and play as well as they have done the last two games, absolutely outstanding.
Good point. Mental toughness from the off.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought we played really well in Cardiff, and then we were hammered at Lords, and it was a very low dressing room after that game. But the way the boys went away, regrouped, thought about it, came back and played brilliant cricket the last two games. So absolutely high. I'm so pleased for that. I'm so pleased for Cookie. You know, he's been through the ringer the last couple of hours, and this morning he was a bit stressed. So, but to finish it that way is absolutely top class.
Do you expect to finish it here at Trent Bridge?
No, I don't think anyone could have dreamt of that, could we? The fact that we're going to the Oval, already won the series, that's beyond dreams, isn't it? It really is. So absolutely high class from the boys.
Watching the boys doing the lap of honour now, it must give you goosebumps, doesn't it?
It's one, and that's what it's about, isn't it? That's what they play the game for. That's what the satisfaction that we get from watching that is just out of this world. I mean, you know, your throwdowns, you're helping people when they're struggling, whatever it is that you try and do. And at the end of the day, we don't do a lot. We try our best, but it's about the players, and they deserve all the credit they're getting today. And there'll be so many good stories out of it. Ben Stokes, how well has he bowled? Rooty again. You know, Broady stepped up when we had no Jimmy. You know, everybody said, oh, we're going to struggle without Jimmy. Well, we haven't, and he's a high-quality bowler. But Broady, absolutely, well, world-class, wasn't he, first innings? So, but that's what it's about. Seeing those lads going around now, that's what you're involved for. And that's where, you know, I'm getting as much enjoyment watching that as I was seeing Woody knocking over the end. So, fantastic.
Well, the backroom staff deserve credit as well. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, brilliant.
Yes, Ian Ward, he seems a thoroughly decent, down-to-earth guy, Paul Farbrace, and under pressure, that's exactly what you need in the back room. Sensible thinking. Different emotions here. News breaking from the Australian camp that Michael Clarke will retire, Bumble, at the end of the next test match. So he's got one more test match, and on Cricket Australia have announced that Michael Clarke will retire after the Oval. There's the scorecard, just blown away. The openers made 52 and 64. Voges made 51. Not much from the rest.
Stuart Broad, well, he's finished with 9 wickets in the game, just 1 wicket here. Mark Wood 3 for, but Ben Stokes 21 overs, 8 maidens, 6 for 36.
Scenes from the dressing room. We're very privileged to have these scenes. Smiles on faces. They'll be messy in there soon. We'll get Ian Ward in there, get some interviews done.
Well, this morning, Alistair Cook out in the middle, very relaxed. He said, get the cameras in, bring them in. It's all very tidy there. Nice and tidy right now. Come back in an hour. Where's the Gatorade? And again, we saw the lads walking round and they'll not know what to do with themselves here. Not the Burnley lad with a bottle of champagne.
Gibson with rum in the background.
Gibson's got some rum.
There's 15 beers, 3 champagnes and a rum and coke. And a coke for Moeen Ali. And Ian Ward, if there's alcohol. Yay, well done, Jimmy. He's a little target, but they got him.
Well, no down to Ian Ward.
What happened? Give me some of that rum. What are you doing with rum?
This is what the fast bowlers are on, mate. This is why we're bowling the way we're bowling.
That's been the key, has it? The rum.
Set fire to him now.
Come here. Come here. What are you doing?
I shouldn't be laughing because it's hurting my side.
It's not bad, eh?
Oh, it was amazing, wasn't it? Oh, what a feeling that was going around the field there. The way we bowled this week was unbelievable. Like Stokes' performance that second innings was just like unbelievable swing bowling, and just incredible. Can't believe that we've managed to achieve it.
Go through the ringer up here as well, don't you?
Yeah, it's tough watching. Especially, you know, I'm desperate to be out there with the lads, but yeah, next best place is up here, definitely.
Right, well, I've just been electrocuted by my talkback, so I'm going to go. Thanks, Jimmy. Thank you, boys. Congratulations.
Woody, you're more than welcome anytime.
It is a far, far better thing he did there, Ian Ward, than anyone could imagine. Into the Lions' den. The Lions have triumphed today. It's been a fabulous day for England, just to finish things off in good time. Just 40 minutes, just 62 balls it took to finish off Australia this morning and to start those celebrations. And we pay tribute to Ian Ward, who might re-emerge one day with a dry suit. But yeah, great day for them, great day for all those who came down to Trent Bridge just to be part of it. OK, not much cricket to watch, but to say you were here on the day that England won the Ashes is always special. We've got Ricky and Ian alongside. Ricky, sorry about that.
That's OK, I'm fine, I'm hanging in there.
But Ian, let's come to you, because this morning, you know, with the build-up this morning, everyone here looking forward to exactly what they've seen. Yes, they might have liked to see a bit more cricket, but they've got exactly the result they wanted. And again, you have to say, I mean, you predicted, yes, that England would win this series. Many others didn't. Many others didn't have quite that same confidence.
I just felt that Australia, looking on paper, they're an older side. Ryan Harris was a massive blow to that squad. I think he was, it might have even been a different result. I think that's how important he was to that Australian setup. But England have come back. They've all turned up. They've shared it around. Everybody's come to the party one way or another. Where it's a great catch, a great bit of fielding, great piece of bowling, great bit of batting. It's all been there in the mix. And that's, you know, apart from that little hiccup yesterday with the catching, it's been absolutely, that's ever since Hussain went out there and dropped it, and it was like a disease. But no, England, I think England have worked very, very hard. And when I say worked hard, I mean they do it hours and hours of practice, whether it's catching, batting, bowling, and they're reaping the rewards.
Yeah, well,
great moments for them.
We will enjoy the celebrations alongside the players. Well, Ian Ward will. We'll enjoy the rest of the day. We'll enjoy the feeling, that warm glow I referred back to in Sydney years ago when Andrew Strauss won Down Under in Australia. And Alistair Cook, of course, will be enjoying every moment of this. But spare a thought for Michael Clarke, who's had things on his mind. Here's what he's had to say to Shane Warne.
With me, I've got the Australian captain, Michael Clark, and you came here to England after beating them 5-0 in a whitewash. It must feel pretty tough to take now.
Yeah, no doubt, Warnie. But I think England deserve a lot of credit. I think they showed us how to execute good swing bowling, good seam bowling throughout this series. We have to be very honest and say we're outplayed. There's no doubt about it.
And what does that mean for Michael Clark? What does that mean for you, mate?
Yeah, I'll have one more test, mate, and that'll be the end of my career. So I'm retiring from international cricket. I certainly don't want to, jump ship and leave the boys now. So I'll play the last test at the Oval, give it one last crack, but time's right now, mate.
Look, I think, we all feel very proud of you, the way you've captained the Australian team. You've made us all proud. It must have been a really tough decision to make, to stand down and retire after a long period of time.
It always is. You never want to walk away from the game, but I think my performances in this series and over the last 12 months have not been acceptable to me. I pride myself on, I guess, leading from the front, so that's been disappointing. And I think you build yourself up for the big tournaments, the big series. One-day cricket is about the World Cup, and Test cricket it's about the Ashes. And I certainly tried my best. The boys have tried their best. We got outplayed, we got beaten, and now it's time for, the next generation of players or the next captain to have his opportunity to try and build the team and get them ready for the next Ashes series.
Well, always tough, as Michael Clark says there, to make that final decision. I suspect, of course, with the Ashes gone and with a bit of a line drawn after an Ashes series anyway, it's a good time for him.
Yeah, I think it's the right time. He said it himself there. He's battled himself and his game over the last 12 months. I've been there. I know what it's like. And since I've retired, I now know that I went on for longer than I should have. And Michael obviously doesn't want to be in the same boat. So I'm really happy to see that he's got the Oval Test to play. I think he deserves the right to have one last Test match, and hopefully he can finish on a good note. He's he struggled through this series to find his best cricket. Hopefully now with the weight of the series is done, he's made a decision in his own mind that that's the end. Hopefully we can see him come out and finish off making a big score at the Oval.
I mean, it just proves how tough the game can be, because it's only, just over 4 months since he was lifting the World Cup. Australia world champions yet again. As you said, you come to England for an Ashes tour full of hope, full of optimism. They were favourites when they arrived here. So it's a crushing blow to an individual. As much as it's a crushing blow to a team, it's a crushing blow to an individual when you're trying to lead, as he says, from the front.
Yeah, I think you made a good point. It is a hard game. It's a hard game when you're just starting to doubt yourself or fight the inner demons that are there. And we've seen that from him. We've seen that from quite a few of the Australian players. I think the apprehension that we've seen in a lot of their stroke play in particular, I think, has been the difference. So, yeah, look, they've all tried their hardest. They haven't been out good enough. They've been outplayed. England have been outstanding, I think, and it's been a real team effort, as Beefy said earlier. Every one of those Englishmen at some stage have had an impact on the series, and the same can't be said about the Aussies.
Indeed, indeed. Beautifully summed up. Right. A few reminders then of what we've been seeing over the last 2 days and 40 minutes before we get to the presentations.
England have won the toss. Alistair, what are you going to do?
We're going to have a bowl.
The local lad has a new ball in his hand.
Oh, beauty. Oh, 300. He's joined the big club. Oh, gone. What a start for Broad and England. Oh, what a catch. Australia 5 down.
That is unbelievable. All gone. Brilliant from Broad. 8 for 15. Quite a remarkable morning. Excellent bowling, excellent catching. Over to the batsman.
.50 for Johnny Bairstow, back in the side in place of Gary Ballance. 100 for Joe Root. Root has gone through to his 8th Test 100.
Oh, what a shot. That's a night watchman, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, well bowled, very well bowled, got him at last. They all rise to Joe Root.
Oh, beautiful delivery from Stark.
Oh, he's declared. England are going to have a bowl.
Nice shot. Beautifully punched down the ground.
Finds the middle of the bat.
That's found the gap.
Well played, Chris Rogers. Continues his good form through this series.
Edged, and he's taken this time.
Nick and gone. Bell in the end, and Michael Clark must go.
Nearly there, England.
Oh, that swung a long way.
He's been excellent today, Ben Stokes.
England are on the brink of regaining the Ashes.
Bowled him, dragged on. Would the man with the final wicket. 599 days after handing the urn over to Australia, Cook has his redemption.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the presentation ceremony for the 4th Investec Ashes Test, won by England by an innings and 78 runs, which means they go 3-1 up in the series and regain the Ashes. Time to introduce to you our presentation party. First of all, the Senior Investment Director of Investec, Mr. James Bedingfield, the Chairman of the England and Wales Cricket Board, Mr. Colin Graves, and from Sky Sports to conduct our interviews, Michael Atherton. Our first presentation is to our ICC match officials, who'll be presented with Investec medals, and we'd like to ask to step forward our ICC match referee, Ranjan Madigali. Our on-field umpires, Alim Dar and S. Ravi. Our third umpire, Murray Erasmus. And fourth umpire, Tim Robinson. Now, before we come to the Investec Player of the Match Award, it's time for a word with the two captains. And first of all, we ask to step forward your appreciation, please, for Australia's Michael Clark.
Wherever you like. Michael, these are difficult times, obviously, so we thank you for your time and patience here. You said before the start of the tour that you had a dream to win a series here as a player. When did you feel that dream start to slip away from you?
Well, probably didn't start well in this Test match, did it? Being bowled out for 60. Yeah, look, obviously our goal was to come here and try and have some success. I think Alistair Cook and the England team deserve a lot of credit. I think they've showed us how to execute good swing and seam bowling in these conditions, and they've also batted well. So it wasn't from lack of trying. The boys, the Australian boys, have worked extremely hard and given it our best, but we've been beaten by a better team.
It's been a remarkable turnaround. The match at Lord's was a 405 victory for your team, and then 6 days of cricket later, the Ashes are done. How do you put your finger on that swing?
It's the game of cricket, isn't it, right there? I think we can, or all cricketers can learn from that. I think when you think you're doing well, just remember it's what you're one duck away from doing poorly. So, and the other side, when you're struggling, you're not doing as well as you like, you can turn it around. So, look, I think that's just the way this series has gone. I think England, when they've had momentum, have grabbed it with both hands and have made the most of it. And I think they showed their class in this Test match, that's for sure.
The pitches at Edgbaston and here have been what you'd call traditional English pitches, but many of your players are no stranger to these conditions, therefore the puzzle of why the batsmen have struggled to adapt.
Yeah, again, I think obviously Jimmy Anderson, Stuart Broad, those two in particular, and obviously Stokesy in this game as well, they showed what you need to do on wickets like this. You need to be able to put the ball in the right area consistently. Again, I said the other day, I know we got sent in on a tough wicket, but you need to have the skill to still be able to put that ball in that right area and find the edge. Then once you find the edge, you need to be able to hang on to those chances, and it's what England have done really well throughout the whole series.
Has it been a tour too far for one or two of your players?
Maybe for the captain. Look, I think there's no doubt I'll always hold myself accountable as captain of the team. My performances have been nowhere near the level and the standard they need to be an Australian cricketer and to be captain. So, look, the boys have worked hard. I don't blame anyone in that change room. As a team, we haven't performed as well as we needed to beat England. And as a captain, I certainly haven't led from the front.
I should make mention to the crowd that you've announced the decision to retire at the end of this series after the Oval Test match, both as Australian captain and as an international player. That's the most difficult decision of all, isn't it?
Well, not when you perform the way I performed in this series. Obviously, I started this great game at 6 years of age, so it's hard to walk away, there's no doubt about it, but I think it's the right time. I think you, as a player, you build yourself up for big tournaments. The World Cup was that in one-day cricket, and Ashes cricket is that in test matches, and unfortunately I haven't played as well as I would like, and I think it's the right thing and the right time to walk away now, to give the Australian team and the next captain that chance to prepare for the next Ashes series.
It's been it's been a magnificent career that you have had. A long, long time as a player, many years as captain as well. What have been the standout memories for you as an Australian player and captain?
Yeah, look, I've been very lucky, Athers, to play over 100 test matches for my country. I certainly didn't expect that as a young boy, having a dream to play cricket for Australia. I think your teammates, again, I've been lucky when I first came into the team, I had, 10, 11 older brothers or second fathers, all those old guys looking after me, taking care of me and helping me grow and learn to one day get to a position where I could try and give back and help the younger players, and hopefully I've done that.
Carry on, are you okay?
I'm sick of crying on television, I know that, my God. Yeah, and like I said, it's the right time. There's so much talent in that change room. The boys will be fine.
Just looking forward, these will be difficult times for Australian cricket now. There'll be a quick turnover, one assumes. Are you confident that Australian cricket will bounce back?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I think we've got good players, plenty of talent. It's going to take a lot of hard work, there's no doubt about it, especially when you're playing against great teams, like we've just seen. But the potential's there and the work ethic's there, so that's a great base. I think our support staff do a fantastic job with us, trying to help us get better every day. Like I say, we're very lucky in Australia. We've got a lot of talented young players, and I'll keep the faith, that's for sure.
You've been a great player over a long period of time. I know everybody in England has thoroughly admired your professionalism and your play, and we've loved watching you play. So good luck to you at the Oval. Michael Clarke, the Australian captain.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome England's Alistair Cook.
Those are difficult moments for Michael, obviously. You've been there to some degree over the last year. Just your reaction to the news that Michael is retiring at the end of the series?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's just heard it there, and just to Michael from the England team, fantastic player, fantastic leader, and, it's obviously a really tough moment, but you should be remembered for a great captain and a fantastic cricketer, so congratulations, Michael.
It's been 599 days, I think, since England handed the Ashes over at Perth. Can you believe it?
No, I can't. And sorry, Michael's got emotional. He's made me emotional as well. I can't believe what we've just achieved over the last 18 months. But from where we've been over the last 18 months, to what we've achieved in these 3 days. So I'm incredibly proud of the lads. Incredibly proud of all the support staff, because we've done something which I didn't think was quite possible at the beginning of the summer.
You're going to break down as well on me here.
No, sorry, what are your worst nightmares?
Let's talk about that, the amazing transformation, really. 5-0 18 months ago, 3-1 here. If you had to try, and these are difficult times to analyse it, straight after the event, but how would you explain that remarkable turnaround?
Well, I think firstly, obviously, when you lose 5-0, there's obviously a big turnover of players, and a new side develops pretty quickly. And I think you've seen, obviously it takes a bit of time, but you've seen the amount of talent that's in the country. The young guys have come in and really done incredibly well. It's taken a little bit of time, but, I think you saw a bit of, the end potential there. Obviously Ben Stokes in that second innings was, absolutely fantastic. This amount of swing and skill he bowled. Joe Root, has just gone from strength to strength, and alongside Josh Butler, Mo and Ali coming into the side over the last 18 months, have done incredibly well, and they're the ones who've driven this side forward. Obviously, as a captain, I'm very lucky to have, a group of senior players as well. Broady to step up. When I said at the beginning of the series, we need, at the beginning of this game, someone to step and do something very special. 8 for 15. Pretty much not guaranteed you the Test match, but it puts you in a really good position. Jimmy, Betty, the support I've had from them is, means a lot.
Do you feel then tremendously excited about the possibilities for the team? Because you've got that core of senior players who'll still be there for a little while, and then, as you mentioned, these bright, fresh, exciting young players to drive the team forward over the next year or two.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it only comes down to hard work. But, and I think a lot of that hard work has been done over the last 18 months. Obviously, one person, Peter Moores, I know he's not here, but the amount of work he did with those players, you saw them grow as players, international cricket, and this has been kind of the finishing school for that. And obviously, Trevor's come in and taken that forward again. So without Peter and that development, obviously that was a tough time a couple of months ago, but, he's put a lot of hard work into that success as well.
And a great sense of personal redemption for yourself. You got a bit emotional before, but part of that will be thinking about the very, very tough times that you had last summer.
Yeah, absolutely. But today's not about me or me getting emotional. It's about the group of players who've taken that horrible word, I know, journey, but that journey through some incredibly tough times to get the amazing times. And sport does that. And to be out there with a young group of players, without Jimmy, who's been absolutely fantastic for such a long period of time, and to go in such a game without such a great bowler, obviously is a little bit nerve-wracking, but the other guys have stepped up fantastically well, and that's the moment where you play for when Woody gets that last wicket.
You have a reputation a little bit as being a stubborn man, which is part of your great strength as a batsman, but I think all of us have sensed a real shift this summer as well, that you've been prepared to change, to be more open, to play a more optimistic brand of cricket. Is that a fair comment?
Yeah, I think that is a fair comment. But also that's probably down to the players as well, embracing that. We said at the beginning of the New Zealand series, we wanted to show off our talent as a side. And, part of that, had to be led from the front as well. And I had to take a big step forward, probably as a captain. Yeah, you're right, I am quite stubborn in certain things. It might have taken me a bit of time to do that. But, yeah, look, so when it goes well, it's, you as a captain, you're only really as good as the other 10 players.
You mentioned Trevor Bayliss briefly. He's sat up there now as an Australian coach of England, having coached a team that's regained the Ashes. Just a word about him and the impact that he's had.
Yeah, obviously he's only just turned up, so let's not give him too much credit. Yeah, obviously he's been brilliant, the whole backroom staff, and the one constant obviously has been Paul Farbrace as well. So those two as a brilliant duo, to come in, and Trevor's gone out and just made us relax and try and play our way, and give guys the confidence alongside Paul Farbrace, Otis Gibson, Chris Taylor as well. Brilliant, a real good support network. Our physios, Mark Saxby, the extraordinary goalkeeper in the morning, Phil Neal, all that kind of fantastic support we're getting. That's kind of behind the scenes, which doesn't get the credit it deserves.
With the pressure off a little now, you can really look forward to the Oval. It's going to be a celebration and a coronation there. Should be great.
Yeah, it'd be strange going into that Test match a bit, nowhere near as nervous as it was, but we want to put in a really good performance there. But can we write about that another day? Incredible 3 days, and over the last 4 matches, the crowd, the support, the crowd here at Trent Bridge, the crowd at the other games has been absolutely amazing. Walking down the street, the people have really got behind this England team, and from the bottom of our hearts, we really appreciate it.
Final question. W.G. Grace, Mike Brearley, Alistair Cook, they kind of trip off the tongue, but I think you've joined them now as the only England captain, one of 3 England captains to win the Ashes twice at home. Proud day for you.
Yeah, look, it's unbelievable. That's not really my to be in that kind of class, but the other guys in there, it's been an amazing journey, so thank you.
Many congratulations.
We come next to the Investec Player of the Match Award, who receive a cheque for £2,500, a Magnum of Verve Cliquet Champagne and an Investec medal. Ben Stokes, Joe Root and Mitchell Stark all put in performances which in other test matches would have secured the prize. But in the end, there could only be one. The man that on his home ground broke 300 test wickets and had everybody looking at the record books on the first morning with 8 for 15, the Investec Player of the Match, Stuart Broad.
I can't think that it gets any better than that, does it? Home ground, Ashes regained, 300 test wickets, 8 for 15 on the first morning.
Yeah, special. I want to say I've never heard a crowd so silent listening to two captains. I think that shows the respect everyone's got for the two guys who have been up here, and it's been an amazing series so far, and we're delighted to have got over the line here, but we have got one game to go, and we'll have to focus on that after probably tomorrow.
How often have you been replaying the events of the opening hour of this test match in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, Cookie will tell you I wanted to bat, so it probably shows why he didn't listen to me. But yeah, I mean, it was a good toss to win. There was live green grass on the pitch, but the way the bowling unit got the ball on that full of a length, and I think we've talked about the catching, was absolutely spectacular. So it's been a pleasure to be a part of this week. A lot of credit's got to go to our batsmen throughout this series. We've played on some wickets that have done a bit, and to get scores on the board that we've been able to create pressure with as a bowling unit has been fantastic. So there's a lot of hard work that's gone into these last sort of 4 weeks for a long time, so it's a great feeling to have regained those Ashes.
Did you feel that a bundle of wickets was never far away? Because you'd actually been bowling really well in the matches up to this one, but hadn't quite taken the kind of bundle that Jimmy and Stephen Finn had taken.
Yeah, well, actually, our last 4 innings, 4 different guys have got 5-fers, so I think that's shown how we've dovetailed as a bowling unit, and you have to do that. I think bowling is always about partnerships. It doesn't get talked about that much, but you have to create pressure at the other end if someone's on a run, and we've managed to do that as a group, and it's great. I mean, that's the best I've ever seen Ben Stokes bowl yesterday and today. I mean, he's had the ball on a piece of string. What an exciting future he's got for England, and to deliver that in such a high-pressure game was awesome to watch.
That shows the value of the all-rounder, because it means you've got those 4 seamers, and therefore not just that you don't have to bowl long spells, but that pressure is constantly on the opposition.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you the luxury of bowling short spells. So I think the wickets we've played on that have seamed, you've got to fire in for 4 or 5 overs, then have a rest. Because if you just put the ball there in England, it doesn't do anything. You've got to really bang the ball into the wicket. So the balance of the bowling unit has been awesome, I think. I mean, it's the first time we've really settled into a 5-man attack since Freddie was around. And I think it shows how important it is and how it allows each bowler to really apply the pressure when they get the ball in their hand.
Have your friends from the Brisbane Courier Mail been in touch?
I did actually see their back page, and they actually printed my face, which was quite... I think that was the biggest compliment they could pay me.
But not your name yet. I think they still refer to you as a 28-year-old medium pacer.
I'll take it. At least they're taking a year off me.
That was then. This is now. How good can this attack, this England team, be?
Yeah, I mean, we've got guys, obviously some experienced players, but it's actually the younger guys who are leading the team through, the likes of Joe Root, Ben Stokes, Mark Wood, Finney. I mean, it's been the guys putting in performances, not just in this Ashes series, but the New Zealand series, the one-day series, that makes England exciting to watch. I mean, I was glued to that one-day series like everyone was, and I think that showed the excitement that was leading through to the end of the summer, and the guys have carried it on. I mean, the games have been 3-4 days, but they've been action-packed. I feel like I've played 5-day games. It's exciting to be involved in, and I hope that we continue to play this style of cricket, because I think it's entertaining the crowds.
So do we. Many congratulations. Well done.
Well, 3 really good interviews from the captains, from Stuart Broad at the end there, all well received by the crowd. Full house here today for 40 minutes cricket. They've come to enjoy the celebrations. I'm sure they appreciated, as Stuart Broad said, silence throughout the interviews with the captains. A mark of respect for what both those men have achieved through their careers. Michael Clarke's career heading towards its close. Alistair Cook's career still going very strong, it seems, with a second home Ashes win. And although that balcony looks rather tidy at the moment, that, as David Lloyd predicted a little while back, will no doubt get a bit messier later. First thing I want to ask, the emotions that were spilling out there just prove how the Ashes still fires people up.
It's what you play for. It's the pinnacle of our sport. Australia and England Test match cricket is the pinnacle of the game as far as we're concerned. I'm sure English players feel the same way. So, and it just goes to show there just how much pressure these players are under. That's just a spill out of emotion at the, well, not at the end of a series, but when a series has been decided. So it does have a huge effect on you as a player and as a leader and as a captain, and it has an effect on your family and the people around you as well. It is such a big deal now.
All right, well, I'd like to continue the theme, but we've got Ian Ward back in that dressing room. What's going to happen next?
Good question, David. This could go horribly wrong, but I got Ian Bell alongside me. 5th time he won the Ashes. How does that feel?
Yeah, amazing. Again, performances from the whole group of players has been incredible. So to be part of my 5th winning Ashes is amazing, but this one is right up there.
We're going to get soaked in. No, we're not. Stokes has moved away. What's been the difference? What's been the key?
I think the guys have just said it out there. I mean, some of the performances, some of the lads, in particular the bowlers, Stokesy in this game and Broady, but Jimmy, Edgbaston, they set the tone, I think, from ball one. And the one thing we always ask is, whatever happens with the toss, whoever goes out there sets the tone, and the bowlers have done that through this series and made it a lot easier for us as a batting unit. But yeah, it's been absolutely. It's exactly. I mean, this kind of dressing room as well has been as good a dressing room as I've been involved in as well. So it's great.
Well, I was going to say the dressing room. There's carnage going on around us. I mean, how have the group been? Because it's been a roller coaster ride.
It has, yeah. And I think the way we reacted after Lords was exactly, what we needed to do. I think Australia showed that in Cardiff. But yeah, it's been outstanding. Like I said, I think there was real calmness, and when we got to Edgbaston, it was about enjoyment and going out and expressing ourselves.
You mentioned Edgbaston. That was a massive test for you.
It certainly was. Yeah, it's nice to still be here at Trent Bridge, which is good. But yeah, finally the batting starts to feel like it's getting back in order. But the team performance has been incredible. Like I said, the bowlers have been sort of different league.
Thanks for your time.
Cheers, Woody.
I suspect we're going to hear from quite a few people through the course of the day. I mean, everyone is backing up what was set out in the middle by the captain, by Stuart Broad as well. They're all backing up this whole team ethic.
Well, Punter hit the nail on the head. It's what we play this game for. We always say, we're looking forward to playing New Zealand, or we're looking forward to playing the West Indies. But it's England-Australia, and that is it. And the whole world of cricket watches the Ashes. That's how important it is. And I think that, OK, the games haven't gone 5 days, but they've lacked nothing. There's been some great individual performances. And there's a definite team spirit there. And that England side, just spending a little bit of time with them, you got the sense that they were a lot more relaxed than I think previously. And just a different atmosphere. And that obviously comes from the top. So the coaches, the captain, they're the people that set that tone. And then, as you can see, there's a few larrikins in that dressing room. I thought, oh, right. I dread to think what's going to come up next in that dressing room.
OK, well, let's give you... I mean, Ian Ward's still there. I have no idea who's with him, nor's he, I don't think.
I've got Bob Willis alongside me. Hello, Bob. How was that feeling?
Well, it was very entertaining, wasn't it? I thought it was a brilliant performance by all the bowlers for a change, and I'm sure the crowd thoroughly enjoyed it.
Marks out of 10?
4.
Only 4?
Well, it wasn't a patch on my game, was it?
Take that off. Won the Ashes. Brilliant.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. The work that the lads did.
My trousers are so wet.
I'm in boxers as well.
Yeah. What's been the key? I mean, your form been outstanding.
Yeah, felt pretty good in the middle. I think the thing about this team is...
I can't see. I don't know about you.
the great thing about this team is that everyone's chipped in throughout the series. It's not just been led by one or two blokes. Every point someone's put in a valuable performance, which has led to us coming to this point. So I mean, it's just a great team to be a part of and thoroughly enjoyable.
I was going to say, the teamwork around there, they're throwing oranges at you now.
Everything. I'm sure it's going to be an entertaining evening, and I just can't wait for the celebrations and then to crack on again at the Oval.
Well, you crack on with those celebrations. Well
Cheers,
played.
mate. Thank you.
I know from experience that stuff stings. I mean, it goes beautifully down the mouth and down the neck. It's never designed to go in through the eyes. It does sting. So wasn't Joe Root being emotional there? And we have seen the odd tear shed today already. I mean, you could run through that entire team, or you can run through the performances, the key performances. I mean, Joe Root's have been outstanding. 200s. Let's talk about those 200s in the series for starters.
Well, the best thing they did was drop him for that Sydney game. Since he has come back from that, and he was annoyed. He sets his standards very highly, and he was bitterly disappointed to be put himself in a position where he would be left out. But he's come back and he's bounced back and he's worked hard, and he's probably at the moment arguably the best player playing world cricket at the moment.
The rankings might well reflect that soon. When, for instance, you saw him at Cardiff, I mean, 101st Test match at Cardiff, great start of the series. Then they had that short pitch bowling attack at Lords in the following game, not so productive, Australia winning by a distance, 405. You could have thought at that stage maybe there'd be problems to sort out, but he seems to have that immense capacity to look at himself, work it out very quickly, and come back and just put it right.
Yeah, and that's his class, but it also just goes to show that he had the ability and capability to get through one initial spell of bowling, which the Australian batsmen haven't. I mean, they had some set plans for him after the first test, but he's weathered the storm early on, and he's also been aggressive and played with great intent at the start of every innings. I mean, you see him get off the mark here, first or second ball with a cut shot, 4, bang. The pressure's straight back on the bowlers. And Ian Bell made a point about how good the England bowlers have been. Well, you look at their batting at different times as well. I mean, they got 390 on that wicket out there from the second session of the game onwards. So you've got to give a lot of credit to their batters as well. They've adapted to the conditions with the bat and with the ball so much better than the Australians, and that's the really big worry for me is how are we going to change that? How is Australian cricket going to change and be better equipped and better prepared for those conditions next time we play? But yeah, Joe Root's been outstanding, and we keep saying it. The team performance. Every time they've had an opportunity as an individual, they put their hand up and said, right, I'll get the job done for the team.
Yeah. Whenever you look at the evolution of a national side, I mean, there are always ups and downs. If you're capable enough, you can sustain a generation of cricketers. I mean, like, for instance, your era seemed to go a long, long time. And before that, the Steve Waugh, the Mark Taylor eras, they sustained that pressure, sustained that quality for a long, long time. What's happening in Australian cricket at the moment? Is there a future there in terms of the people coming through, or is it just going to be a bit of a fallow time? Are people going to look hard at themselves? Are they going to wait for the next superstars to emerge? I mean, Stephen Smith looks as though he could well be in charge of that side from the end of the Oval Test match onwards.
Yeah, well, I'll back up what Michael Clarke said. I actually think the systems we have in place in Australia will guarantee that we'll keep producing good cricketers. But it's only a few months ago that this Australian team was, pretty much winning everything as well.
Yeah,
So, Ather's made a good point this morning. Was it just one step too far, or two or too many for some of these senior guys? Once again, that's got to be an art to the selection side of things. Knowing, the right time to make some big, difficult calls. So there's an art to that side of it as well. But I actually think we've got to get back to producing some wickets in Australia at first-class level that are going to have our players better prepared for what we've seen here over the last couple of Test matches.
Well, you can start by using the proper cricket ball. That might help.
Well, that's one recommendation that I'll take home straight away.
Which I think it's so important. The bowlers learn to use it and to use the ball with a seam. You can get reverse swing with it. There's a lot of things that it does that the Kookaburra doesn't do very well.
That's right, yeah.
But the pitches as well, I think the pitches I've seen in Australia recently have been roads. Really hard work. And then batsmen can get into bad habits because they're so used to just hitting through the line of the ball. You can't do that when the ball's going sideways.
But, OK, right, the other side of that is, OK, fine, England went down there 18 months ago and failed to cope with those conditions. Australia were way better.
Yeah.
5-0 is a massive slaughtering of a cricket team. So Australia were way better with home conditions, with pace, with good pitches, with bounce, all that sort of stuff. Good pace and bounce. So that was the other side of this same coin. And at the end of that, we were saying, well, we must prepare England players better for other conditions. So, if we're going to have the same argument every sort of 18 months, 2 years, we're going to go round and round in circles. I mean, it's actually surely about getting every player from every side to understand what different conditions are.
Well,
that's your optimum.
Let's not forget, you need your best players playing consistently well through the course of a whole series if you want to win an Ashes series. It's as simple as that. You look at Australia's better players in this series, or coming into this series, they haven't been consistently good through the 4 Test matches. You don't win unless that's the case.
Right, England's new coach arrived just in time for the Ashes. This is the way to finish them off. This is the way to do it. Trevor Bayliss, now with Ian Ward.
Trevor, thanks for your time and many congratulations. Your boys are a disgrace, by the way, throwing champagne over everybody. How does that feel, though, winning the Ashes?
Yeah, it was, hairs on the back of the neck, standing up type of situation. But, yeah, it was a good feeling. And the boys are definitely enjoying themselves in the dressing room at the moment.
Any mixed emotions being an Australian?
No, not really. Look, I'm not going to gloat in front of these boys. They're, I know a lot of them very well, and I know, they'd be feeling down at the moment. But the feeling amongst our guys is fantastic. The Australian players, there's some good players and a very good team, and that's why the England boys should be very proud of their performance.
We spoke at Cardiff ahead of the first Test. Could you imagine it working out like this?
No, look, not really. It's to win one Test, I suppose, when everyone was writing the team off, was a bonus. But I think that gave the guys confidence for the Test matches going forward.
When you went into that dressing room and you saw them under pressure in that Test match at Cardiff, what did you find out about these players straight away? Because when we spoke, you hadn't entered into that arena yet.
Yeah, look, there was certainly at the start there was a few nerves, but enough ability in the group that they could see past that or go past that. And get out and just do their job. If they concentrate on what they're doing, then they're going to be very difficult to beat.
What did you say to them after Lords?
Look, I thought at Lords we got away from playing our game and concentrating on what individually we did as a group. And it was just a case of not worrying about what the opposition was doing, getting back to what our game plans were individually. And I thought in the last 2 matches we've gone out and done that perfectly.
But that really was the turnaround, the shift in momentum, if you like. Any harsh words at Lords?
No, not really. I've not one for necessarily harsh words, but certainly we spoke about some realities, without sort of going over the top. But the players were very honest with their own, appraisal, which I think is a good sign. You can't move forward unless unless you're honest with yourself.
You had to move some senior players around. I mean, I'm speaking particularly about Ian Bell up to number 3. Was he happy with that challenge? How did he react to it?
Oh, certainly. Look, as soon as we mentioned that to him, he was, he grabbed hold of the opportunity, and the way he went out and played it in Edgbaston was, that showed exactly, his attitude towards taking on that number 3. He wanted to take it on head on.
Were you worried coming in this Test with no James Anderson, such a crucial game?
Well, look, you can never replace, a player of his ability and record in the game. Look, but what it does is give someone else an opportunity to go out and maybe begin, their career in the same fashion. We talk about swing bowling. I thought, Stokes, took on Jimmy's role absolutely perfectly, and I think, that'll stand England cricket in good stead over, in the coming years.
Alistair was quick to praise Peter Moores. He sort of put your contributions down on the back burner a bit, but that's sort of the way you do it, isn't it?
Well, rightly so. Look, you can't have success immediately like this without some hard work and some good work. In the leading, in the previous 12, 18 months. I think as any new coach coming into a new environment, you try to value add, I suppose, to those good things that have been done before, and certainly the work that Peter and the backroom staff have done with these young players, especially coming through, has been absolutely fantastic.
And Cook as a leader, very difficult times for him, and he's come through and now won the Ashes again.
Yeah, look, he's in the dressing room, he's very well respected, and I thought his captaincy throughout these 4 tests at the moment has been spot on. He's been proactive rather than reactive. He's taken on maybe a few decisions that he maybe wouldn't have done in the past, but I think we've all seen the benefits of being positive in your captaincy as well.
Proactive due to you prompting him to be?
Oh, look, every now and then, but it's one of those things. I see my role as giving all the players, and the captain's no different, options. in the end, if you give him 2 or 3 options, he's got to choose the right one.
What about Michael Clark? An emotional Michael Clark's going to step down. You know him pretty well.
Yeah, look, I mean, to me it was a bit of a surprise, but look, he's been a fantastic servant to Australian cricket over a lot of years. Not just as captain in the last few years, but as a player, it's yeah, I can't speak highly enough of him. He's been a great player, and I'm sure Australian cricket will miss him.
How far can this England team go?
Well, look, as I said before, we've got. We're not going to paper over the cracks. We're going to enjoy this moment, but there are a few areas where we need to improve in if we want to be a good, consistent team over a number of years. So we've got some hard work in front of us, but the signs are good.
Congratulations. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Cheers.
Well, nice to come into a side or come into a squad, come into a setup like this and have that sort of success almost straight away, hard-earned, of course. What's most important about that role to you? Because we've seen different styles. We've seen people, and there's tribute paid to Peter Morza, who's a much more involved character, much more technical. And likewise, people saying about Trevor Bayliss there, that he allows people to relax and be themselves and develop.
Well, it's one thing you'd say about this England team. They've looked sharper and they've looked more relaxed than the Australian team, right from pretty much the first game. They just look like they're really enjoying themselves. They look like they've enjoyed each other's success on the field. You can tell when a team takes a wicket how quickly they get in and celebrate and get to the bowler, or how quickly they go and get the bowler's hat. The little things that you can just sort of see from the commentary box, you get a pretty good idea of how a team is going. The other thing I know about teams when they're playing well is they're always fielding well, they're catching well, and I think England have caught really well. It's a really good sign that they are sharp, that they're switched on, and they want to make an impact on the series as individuals.
Yeah, but for instance, when you compare, Bayliss has come in, right, got this success now. Darren Lehmann, when he came into the job last Ashes in this country, was making a difference, it seemed, straight away, just in terms of the culture, the atmosphere, the way he did things, seemed to lift an Australian team there.
Yeah, and I think he'll do it again. I think he'll go back, he'll be sitting down, he'll be looking at that team sheet or this squad, and he'll be thinking, how many people am I going to actually lose in this period now? You've got 2 years till the next Ashes. That'll be his target, I'm sure, to have the side ready for that and fired up, and there'll be new personnel. I don't think a coach ever stops. I think they're always looking at, Shane Watson probably won't be there, Michael Clark, Mitchell Johnson, I don't know. There's a few.
There's a bit left in Mitch, but yeah.
Yeah, but he's 30 odd now, 34. So there's a few guys there that he'll be looking at. Rogers is retiring. There's quite a few players that he'll be looking at, and he will rebuild. But a coach's job never stops. Yeah. There's always something going on.
All right, back to Ian Wards. This time he's got Mark Wood with him.
Yeah, he stopped clowning around in the dressing room and throwing oranges at me. He's down to have a chat. Mark Wood, Ashes winner. How does that sound?
Absolutely phenomenal. We wanted to start well the first hour, but then I think I just got blown away with emotion. I was still shaking half an hour after we'd won. It was just that feeling when we're in the group. I think I got stood on 5 times. It was fantastic. The whole thing was just brilliant.
Just a lot of shouting and screaming in that group, was it, when you took that wicket?
I've still got a bit of earache now, I think, but it was. Look, the scenes in the dressing room now are brilliant. Not so great being a teetotaler because there's champagne everywhere and beers and.
Mainly it's on me.
Yeah, well, you look good though. Sorry, look, I think we've just got to enjoy the moment, enjoy it tonight, because it's been a great result.
Well, that was a special moment. You took the winning wicket.
I don't really remember most of that, to be fair. I remember being in the group, and I never thought even a year ago that I would be the one playing an Ashes series, never alone taking the winning wicket. So an absolutely fantastic feeling, and one that I'll remember forever.
Did you set some targets coming into the England team? Personal landmarks?
Not really. I just wanted to be myself and prove to people how good I could be. And look, I think there's more to come, but to play against Australia, it's every England cricketer's dream. To win an Ashes series is just beyond belief, so I'm so happy.
Taking the new ball as well, we spoke briefly about it this morning. Like the challenge of that?
Yeah, and thanks to Cookie for showing faith in us. Obviously, Jimmy Anderson is Jimmy Anderson. He's a phenomenal bowler. But to give the sort of faith Cookie had in me to give us the ball was brilliant. As
with all these things, I mean, you're standing here taking the limelight, but a lot of hard work, a lot of people have put in a lot of work for you, your family as well. Big moment for them.
Yeah, a few of them's here over there. Might need subtitles when we get together, but it'll be a great feeling to get over there. I can't wait to just go and grab them, actually.
Well, I'll let you go and do that. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
It is a dream, isn't it? The Ashes remains, as we said earlier, remains a dream for all players. Whatever happens in world cricket, England-Australia remains special. For Mark Wood there, to come into the team this year. That's what he wanted to do. Love it.
Yeah,
but for him to come in and to be there right at the death of that critical moment, that's in his scrapbook forever.
Absolutely, and it's in every team that you always find a character. He is a character, but I think it's a good job he doesn't drink, because I dread to think what he'd be like if he had a few pints inside him. But he is a character, and he loves life.
We've said the same about you for the last 40 years.
Well, we've never tried it the other way, have we? But no, he is a character. He's got lots of energy, enthusiasm for the game.
Yeah.
And performed well. I thought he bowled well with that new ball.
In terms of the bowling attack in general, it reminded me a little bit about the 2005 squad, where 4 or 5 men were consistently there throughout. I mean, it's good to have, and obviously with the Anderson injury, they've had to sort of rejig a little bit. They had Finn coming in the last game. But if you've got the workload shared around, and you're not relying on, for instance, Anderson or Broad to take all the wickets all the time, then you've got a decent bowling attack.
Absolutely, and I think was it Stuart Broad mentioned in his interview that it had that real feel of Flintoff being back in the side again, with Stokes doing what he was able to do, and that attack was as good, almost as good an attack as I played probably in my Test career back to 2005. That was a very well-rounded attack, and there's just no getting away from it. When you've got 4 fast bowlers that are in control of what they're doing in their conditions with a moving ball, there's just no getting away from it. David Warner highlighted that this morning, didn't he? Saying every ball he faced felt like it was the first ball of his innings. So that just goes to show and highlights the pressure that all the Australian batsmen must have been feeling right through this series.
I mean, England would like to obviously continue this at the Oval, finish off in style, but then come the winter, just thinking about the attack again, and thinking about that theme of changing conditions. Come the next challenge, that's in the UAE against Pakistan, where conditions will be very different yet again. So this attack, having had conditions here in Trent Bridge, Birmingham before, which have been good for them, will have to adapt themselves.
Yeah, but they will adapt. They're all capable of reverse swing, which is important, particularly when you go to somewhere like the UAE. It's not going to swing around a lot, I don't think, but it will reverse swing because it's very dry over there. The ball will get roughed up naturally very quickly. So, yeah, I think they'll just revert to that, and that's what the 05 side were good at. They're